All right, one day later and nearly zero sleep in like 30 hours, we made it. Swiss Alps for the first time ever. All right, made it to our hostel for night one. Thank you. All right, we finally made it. We are on our way on the Tour de Mont Blanc. Got into Europe yesterday after a long, not so awesome series of flights and little sleep. Stayed in Chamonix last night and then took off this morning a day earlier than we planned because we realized that the Tour de France is actually happening right now, and one of the segments may be perfectly aligned with the day after we end this trip if we can do it in 8 days. So trail is 106 miles, I think, around Mont Blanc, which is right up there. You can't hardly see the peak. It's kind of hiding behind that dark one and has tons of elevation. So we just planned this trip about 4 weeks ago, which meant that we didn't do what most people do, which is plan ahead, have an itinerary, book refuges to be able to sleep along the way. And so instead, we brought our backpacks, got all our camping gear, and a very rough idea of what we might do. We're hoping our fitness can carry us through in 8 days, but we just talked to some people who seemed pretty savvy and fit, and they said they did it in 10 days, and they looked pretty smoked, so see how this goes. But today's the hottest day, or supposed to be the hottest day of the whole trip. It's like mid-80s right now, and then it should only be in the 70s following this, but we are on our way. Got a few miles down already. Let's do this thing. So we packed a bunch of extra food with us because we just weren't sure exactly what the situation would be in water and whatnot, but it might just end up being that we didn't need to bring anything because it's everywhere. Look at this view. Oh my God. Wow. Hours in, and we've already made our second wrong turn. There's signs everywhere, we have maps, we have GPS. We're still managing to screw up the route, but it looks like we're not the only ones. Back up the hill we go.
Of course, the part we mess up is straight downhill, and then we gotta go straight back uphill.
We get into the town, and apparently every restaurant has like very limited time that they make dinner, and we are not inside of that window. We finally found one, Pancake House, so we are going to indulge and then get on our way.
Can't even tell I'm not drinking beer. Some good old apple juice. Oh my.
We are going to just past the end of this stage tonight. That's the plan. Ascent is 310 meters, or about 1,000 feet. Distance 5.8K, which is just over 3 miles. So we finally found a place that is actually serving dinner at 5 p.m. So many places were closed here in this town, and had some burgers. They were delicious. They're all nice and full now. And then I obliged myself to a second cup of coffee because I realized I've got my first salt stain of the trip, which means I've done something, worked hard. So we've got a second cup of espresso. So we got a few miles left. On our way again. Shut off my watch for a little brief period, but we're at just about 15 miles. It's been fairly slow going today because it's been so dang hot, kind of steep, really steep, but we're almost there. We're trying to beat a thunderstorm that we've got coming tonight in about an hour. That is where we are bivouacking tonight, 100 meters away. And then this is the pass we're going up through tomorrow, I think it. Wow. All right, we finally made it to camp. It was a pretty long day. I think about just under 17 miles with 5,300 feet of gain. So kind of a lot of uphill, and it was sunny, pretty hot, almost 90 degrees all day. And so we were sweating, and we got a late start just before noon because we just changed our minds and ended up leaving today instead of tomorrow. So yeah, but fortunately right now it's supposed to be stormy. It showed forecast chance of thunderstorms right now with some rain, and it's not looking bad at all. So as long as that holds off for the next couple hours, it looks clear again. And then tomorrow morning around like 11, it's supposed to get stormy again. And unfortunately, we have a high point, a pass to go through tomorrow morning, and we do not want to be up high with lightning. And so we're trying to figure out time-wise what we've got to do to get over that pass and down the other side before the lightning comes, if it comes. And then after that, while we have some long days ahead, at least the weather looks a lot better. So yeah, long day, but it was good. First day on Tour de Mont Blanc, done. Catch you in the morning. Well, we are in the woods right now, out of our tent, because it has been storming all night long. There's been lightning going on and tons of rain, a bunch of stuff that wasn't exactly in the forecast, which I know we're in the mountains, so that's the way it goes. But the lightning has just lit up in less like half an hour, and there's actually been ground strikes in the valley kind of around us, and so we decided we wanted to get out in the open and into the trees. Good morning. That small chance of storms last night turned into a big reality of storms, and there was lightning and rain pretty much all night long. I don't think I could have slept much more than a few hours, broken up like 10 minutes at a time. It was just lightning, just flashing nonstop, and then thunder occasionally, and then about an hour and a half ago it just lit up this whole valley with thunder, and so we moved into the trees and hung out there, and then we just laid down for a quick little snooze before we decide how we're going to proceed, because if last night was a small chance for 1 hour per the forecast, and today has a greater chance for 5 hours, I don't really know what that means. So we might get up and meander up to the next refuge and see if anybody else has better intel or just knows how these systems work here.
Amazing coffee. Good job, Brennan and Hannah.
Alright, well, that was a rough night. Didn't get very much sleep, but we're off, and just praying that this weather doesn't keep us from getting through the pass with lightning and whatnot. We really want to make it up and over today, so we can stay on schedule and be able to attempt to get this thing done in 8 days. But last night sucked. We expected a long night, good sleep, up early. Instead, we were up all night and didn't start until an hour and a half after we planned to, because it was just so nasty.
These views are so nice, and I can actually see them. And I saved us 2 minutes this morning because I didn't have to wear my contacts anymore. Someone got LASIK.
Got LASIK. No more dirty finger contact eyes.
I can see 2015.
Moving on the trail through all this farm country with these cows. It's like you're doing a race or an event with people with bells, because they all have those cowbells on them. So you crest a turn and you hear them cheering you on.
We just need to hear one moo. Keep going!
Man, it's beautiful. We've even got a little break of blue skies right there. I don't trust it because, yeah, I just don't trust the weather today, but gosh, we might just make it through this saddle without getting struck down. started this morning way down there in the valley. And man, it looks like we might just make this saddle. The clouds aren't too threatening, but they're moving quick, so we don't know what's behind them. Wow, we actually are making it through the saddle without a storm in sight. We're about an hour before the forecasted storms for today, so we'll see. But after last night, we really didn't know if we'd make it up here without some gnarliness. And it's so exposed that this isn't really where I'd want to be in a lightning storm. So yeah, we made it now. We got a big long downhill after this. The rest of today is not as much climbing, so should be good, but we don't know where we're camping tonight, so we do have to figure that out. Still somewhere about 10 miles from here or so. Yeah, made it.
I told him I'd take a video of him, doing this nice little loop so that it'd be a cool shot, but really I just wanted to sit down for a minute.
Well, we are cruising along, stopped in that last little town, got some food, kind of a late lunch, and then now we're cruising again after a quick nap under a tree, and it's beautiful. We're dogging pretty hard. Not sleeping last night doesn't really prep you well for a long day of rucking along, but we're only about an hour and a half out from stopping point for today, or actually the refuge. We're hoping there's a place to camp there. We still gotta There's some storm clouds rolling in. We've got only about a mile until our anticipated destination for the night, and looks like we're about to get rained on. Hopefully it's just rain, not lightning. It's rolling in fast. Oh, I just heard lightning. Here goes round two. that was a very long day. We are smoked. Didn't start with a lot of energy, certainly not ending with much. Clouds are densening up over here, stacking up. Looks a bit more stormy, so we'll see how the night shapes up. But this is our campsite. There's not a lot of options, so we're right next to some other people. But it is what it is. At least we've got this old building, abandoned building, to hopefully shield some wind and maybe some lightning. Well, the rain's back and the thunder's here. Looks like another night of stormy skies and loud noises. I really hope we can sleep. Nasty in a hurry.
Oh my gosh.
I hope we can sleep tonight. We have a long day tomorrow. Running on like 3 hours in the last 48 as of right now. And we are off on day 3. Already plugged out a mile or so and feeling a lot better today. Actually got some rest last night, even though another storm rolled in and was just pouring rain and lightning. I think most of the night. I woke up a handful of times, but this time we were in a better position, so I wasn't as sketched out about getting a strike. It didn't seem like the lightning was hitting the valley bottom. It was just these mountains all around us. So yeah, absolutely insane though. This has got to be the most beautiful valley we have ever hiked. The flowers are just popping off everywhere. We got a big day today. We are gonna try to knock off a big chunk and make it to Courmayeur. I don't know how to say any of these names, but it's about a 9-hour day of hiking. So with stops, probably about 12 hours. So we got our work cut out for us, but can't beat this setting. My map is right. We are at the border of Italy and France. for a nice 2,300 foot of gain push this morning. I like the cold weather. It's the most chilly we've been, but I think Sadie's really enjoying this hill. We got a big downhill now, but it's windy and a little chilly. But we are in Italy. And back into the abyss.
This trail is just incredible, but every time we're going up the steepest part and we have another 1,000 feet of elevation gain, all I'm thinking is I'm never backpacking again. I'm never doing anything hard again ever in my life after this. And then we reach the top and we're presented with these views, and I take it all back and I decide that this trail is the coolest thing ever. But I'm guessing that I'll have a few more near cry, almost swearing off backpacking hills ahead.
Finally got some daytime stormy weather, but we got some comfort food to hold us through. I debated not even bringing any dehydrated meals on this trip, but I'm so glad that we did. High point, or the second high point of today. So we started way over there in the clouds, came up over that saddle, that's where we were when we crossed into Italy, and then way down into this valley, past where that refuge is down there, kind of see the roof, and then back up this way. And now we're up high, and we've got a big descent, I think about 5 miles of descending, and I think that might be the town right there, or maybe it's on the other side over there. But either way, a lot of downhill to come now, which sometimes the downhill can be a little bit more brutal than the uphill, especially when it's unsustained or when it's sustained for so long. But it is a beautiful view up here. You can see the easy path. So from where we left over there, there's a road that just parallels beneath, and probably would have taken about a quarter of the time, but it ain't as pretty. Look at all these different glaciers. You can just see the edge of all sorts of glaciers through here. Just wild. This reminds me so much of Alaska, but just a little bit less marshy. Oh man, so pretty. Oh, I was wrong. We're not going down there. That's a different town. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the trail loops down around there, and then you can kind of see some lift towers up there at the top, some ski lifts, and we kind of dive off to the right, and from here to the bottom we have 4,000 feet of elevation drop. So we'll take her slow and use the trekking poles, try to save our knees.
I'm only in it for the Italian pizza.
Yeah, there's a town down there, so we're gonna get some good dinner, maybe even catch a hotel for one night to clean up and give a little morale boost.
back foot.
This is the second ski resort we've hiked through, and oh my gosh, look at these views. I've never skied anywhere like this. Sure looks appealing. I might need one of those someday. Just had another brew and some apple cake because this whole route is just littered with opportunities to eat, drink, and feels like cheating, but we don't mind it because our packs are already feeling heavy enough on these hills. But yeah, gonna cruise on down. Got another couple thousand feet to drop into town for the night and should be good. But shout out to some friends, Waylon and Kristen, I think it was, that we just met over there. They've watched some of these videos, so thanks to the support, guys. That's what the cheaters do.
I know, but cheating looks really good right now.
Don't ever say that again. 67, almost 6,800 feet of descent today. That's a lot of down. Came from way up there somewhere, well, way beyond there, but that was the last big descent. Now, we were in town, and I think we're gonna stay here tonight. So, we gotta find a place to stay, a place to eat, and we need some more supplies because we've got a couple of long days ahead of us. So, yeah, it's warm, we're tired. Not spicy. Okay. They said to.
It makes you stronger.
Wine after?
Oh.
Half? That like.
We're being. Cheers.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just got some really good pizza. First meal ever in Italy, and it was delicious. And we accidentally ordered a liter of wine, which isn't, I guess, that much, but we're trying to sleep and recover for the longest day of the whole trek tomorrow. So, yeah, we didn't quite finish, but we had some friends help us. And we got leftovers for tomorrow. Look at these views. Just can't stop staring around. Morning of day 4, leaving the town of Courmayeur, or city, is absolutely beautiful. We got a long day ahead of us. We are forecasted for 20 miles roughly if we want to follow our plan to try to get to a place where we can camp again. So we're feeling pretty tired. We didn't sleep very well last night. It was really hot. So another hard day, but man, look at this. This is our first time in Italy. It's like getting to just stroll through what we've envisioned for so long.
And it's 6:30 and almost no one is around. Actually, we're going to see our first person. But bonjour.
Except for that one really fit guy.
I think I could get on the Italian way of sleeping in past 5:15 sometimes.
Nah.
No, that's true.
5:15 wake up. No further. Just kidding. I only do that because I hate the sun in the afternoon. Or I'd rather hike in the early morning chill weather. You know what that is? No, it's a giant pair of crampons. You're sitting on the spikes or the legs. You always got horses on your mind. Where are you from?
Germany.
Germany?
Northern Germany. Not
Oh,
Germany.
Germany.
Yes.
Very cool. How many days so far?
I think it's the fourth,
Fourth day, same.
to be honest, yeah.
Okay.
So you want to do it in 7?
8?
Ah, okay.
Or are you doing 7?
I tried to go to La Folie,
Yeah,
the
tonight.
next city today, yeah.
Yeah. Are you camping or refuge?
Kind of. So I don't have money. So I also hitchhiked here actually from Northern Germany. Took me 2 days. Really.
That's awesome.
gosh,
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you start in La Houche?
Yeah, I started in La Houche, and I'm not so prepared. So I mean, I have an isolation mat, I have a sleeping bag, but actually I don't have a tent. So it's always a bit hard to not freeze in the night, you know.
Where did you sleep the not last night, but the 2 nights before that?
With the thunderstorm.
You know,
Yeah.
like you can go to this town, and at this town there was like an emergency shelter that is normally done for winter, but like it's inside, and that's why actually it was the first night I didn't need to freeze actually. So that was really nice.
So all of the signs are labeled with time, so like 30 minutes to whatever destination, or an hour or 2 hours, and we've been kind of wondering why they do that instead of distances. Just because I always figured that like your own pace would determine that,
Sure,
you
it
know,
does.
your own fitness. But I guess if once you learn if you're slightly faster, slightly shorter, or I mean slightly slower than their average, then they take into account the terrain.
Yeah. So actually, how should we say this? Like, sure, it depends on your speed, but they use normally a quite conservative measure. That means normally you always need a bit less time than is actually written on this. But I mean.
Up this view in a restaurant at a refuge. All right, we are 10.5 miles in, day 4. By my calculations, I think we were just over halfway.
Woohoo!
I think so.
I think so. That's pretty easy, huh? Only halfway to go. We just have to get, you know, back around to the other side of these mountains through that. Wow, there is no there's no easy way out of there.
Woo.
Oh boy.
Halfway.
Beautiful.
These ones are good. This is like cotton candy flavor. That's my favorite one.
Look at that. Made it to the top almost. There's a saddle right up there, and that is the border between Italy and Switzerland. So we're about to enter into our third country of this trek. And today's been a grinder so far. We still have a few hours left, but we've already ascended almost 7,000 feet, which is the most yet. Absolutely beautiful. Probably the most beautiful day so far. These views are just insane. You can see the valley. We came pretty much paralleled this valley on the high side the whole way, kind of going up and down. And now we're kind of dumping over into the next system of ridges. There it is. The border into Switzerland. The Swiss Alps start here. Ooh. What better way to celebrate leaving Italy, or commemorate rather, than having some Italian pizza from last night. So good. We've been out of water for the last hour, so we were hoping there was something down here, which turns out there is. Only got a few miles left on the plan for today, and we have a place booked for tonight to camp. It's like a campground because in Switzerland, I guess you can't just like camp anywhere, wild camp. But I've read some reviews that it's not that great, so we'll see how that goes. And then we don't have anything booked for the following days, so we kind of have to figure that out soon. And being in Switzerland, we know it'll be expensive and potentially hard to find. Thank you very much. Well, that was another long but very beautiful day. We got a lot of miles in, 22 and a half almost, and we're not even quite to the campsite, so it's a good day. Over 7,000 feet of gain. Had a delicious dinner, and then now just got some snacks piled up for tomorrow night, and came back to find Sadie missing, because of course she's over here hanging out with a horse. Take pictures of it, petting it. Sadie went from not smiling on that last mile to smiling somehow. Can't tell you why. But she saw a horse and I found some chocolate bars, so those may be small reasons.
It was a mule, but yeah.
It was a mule?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 reasons.
Big horse guy here. we got another long one ahead of us. Not quite as long as yesterday, but it'll be another good one. And I think we've modified our plan. We're going to try to do this in 7 days, because the 8th day we can then have as a rest day before going to see the Tour de France. And also the 8th day is supposed to be really stormy in Chamonix, which is where we would be. Well, we'd be above Chamonix, up in the clouds, which, yeah, we don't really want to be there. So now we're modifying plan to see if we can bang this out in 3 final days rather than 4. So it's gonna be a lot of work, but feeling pretty good this morning. Sore, but no more sore than yesterday morning.
This is the best sleep I've gotten so far. Just put those earplugs in and it finally worked.
Yeah, she got dinner, ice cream, a mule, and then some good sleep. So I don't know if she has any excuses. Built on a stone mortar foundation, big timber, dovetailed little stand with flat rocks on top. Almost 7.5 miles in for the day. Came from way up there, up the valley. Oh man, this morning was nice. Started downhill, got coffee shop. It was like through a forest that really reminded us of like Idaho and other areas, just super, just quiet and pretty. And then that town that we just walked through had some absolutely insane buildings, like some of the old barns. I mean, everything's built with wood, and it's like bigger dimensional wood, and there's just old structures that they appear to be completely fastener free, so just pretty much hand stacked and using pins and dovetails and all sorts of different joinery. It's just incredible to see that they're still standing with, I mean, years and years of rough weather. So cool. Definitely makes me want to try something like that someday. We just came up that trail that you can see way down there. Thank you. Oh boy, it has been another day. We are at mile almost 21, about done for the day. So that's 2 days in a row of over 20 miles, with yesterday being a little bit more elevation, but today was still pretty big. And yeah, our feet are feeling it. But this means that we potentially only have 2 more days of hiking. Tomorrow we will pass back into France and kind of over the valley of Chamonix, which will be really cool. It'll be a really cool perspective of Mont Blanc and the range that we only got to see from the front side. Well, the Chamonix side being front, I guess, when we first got here. But the trail quickly dove off the backside, so excited to see that. But for tonight, we need some chow. So we're hoping this refuge has some for us, and then we're hoping the campground has a campsite that we can use. onward into day number 6. Another big climb to start the morning off, and super pumped because today we are going to see the Chamonix Valley from above. So long as there's not clouds or anything else inhibiting us, but should be a shorter distance day. Still quite a lot of climbing, but we're gonna be crossing into France here soon, I think in about an hour or so, and from there we'll be able to camp wherever again. Switzerland is quite restrictive with options as far as tent camping goes, so we're excited. I really hope we find a good lookout spot that has an epic view of the valley, because we've been mostly in valleys or relatively low camping, primarily because of storm potential, so I guess that's a factor too, depending on what the forecast looks like when we get service again. But yeah, more miles, more fun. Sadie's crushing it. It's been some tough days, and she's still chugging along. Got her first blister this morning, or yesterday, but still moving. The end to another good long day. We started this morning way over there at that saddle you can see on the horizon over there. Well, actually down beyond that in Switzerland, crossed the border at that saddle, and then went up and down this ridge line over here all day until we just got to a refuge at a ski resort that had some drinks for us, and then we are going to set up our tent down on a lake with some other people. So we're camping above Chamonix tonight, and then one last push tomorrow with a huge downhill to finish it off. But it should be a shorter day than the last few, and I think we're ready for a little break for the legs, but it has been beautiful. is the morning of the last day. We have one long-ish push out of here. Starts with a big climb, and then we've got a massive downhill all the way down into Luge, where we started. And we've heard horror stories about that downhill being brutal on your knees. So we'll see how that goes. But feeling pretty good this morning. Got to watch sunrise over the range. Got our most clear view of Mont Blanc that we've had this entire trip, which is cool. And packs are, I guess, the lightest they've been, because we are down to very little food and very little water. So finish strong if all goes well. Chamonix tonight. So one crazy thing about this area is just how many people are here hiking, biking, skiing, climbing, mountaineering, all sorts of different alpinism happening. And I wondered just how many issues they have to deal with as far as rescues go and how they manage those. And I actually just remembered the other day that there was a super professional mountain rescue group housed here out of Chamonix, and I looked up a series that I had forgotten about on YouTube about their mountain rescue team, and we watched a little bit of one of the clips last night. But turns out they were actually the same group that we saw over in a town a couple days ago rescuing a guy out of a tree, a skydiver who got caught up. And as we were hiking up, we saw 2 helicopters coming in and out, and they were winching people out. And so I'm guessing the first 1 or 2 were the patient, and then the rescuers after that. So I recognized the helicopters in the film when I started watching it. But super cool. They have just a rad, highly capable team of medical and rescue personnel on staff full time with multiple helicopters, and I'd imagine they get used all the time. So super cool to see. We don't necessarily, as far as I'm aware, have anything quite like that in the US that's that robust, but it's also because we don't necessarily have an epicenter of alpinism like they do here that probably cooks up a lot of issues. So I was just talking about the mountain rescue group, and I think I actually recognize the heli-spot that they work off of right there. A little H with a circle. It looks familiar to me from that show I was talking about. And I believe they have a shop right next to it, kind of hidden by the trees with all the gear, the helicopter, and the people. But what a spot, huh? Right below Mont Blanc and this whole range. All right, here we go. Last real climb of the TMB.
Ready.
It's not as big as yesterday. Yesterday we did over 7,000 feet of gain. This one is only 24-ish hundred feet of gain. So a nice small hill in comparison. Our last trail meal at a refuge, some crepes, Nutella one and a strawberry one, and then 2 cafe longs, coffee. We're gonna need an espresso machine after this. Next, we just head down that ridge over here, and out beyond it is Luge, where we started. That ridge over there was the first one we climbed 7 days ago. Final stretch. We're almost there. final 100 yards, and it's on day 7, midday. So if we would have gotten a morning start on the first day, who knows, maybe we would have pushed through and done it in 6, but 7 was good. It was hard, it wasn't easy, and it was nice and warm. So I'm not sure we would have wanted to do it much quicker with these packs and the camera gear and the weight we had. And yeah, overall it was great. But now we have a hotel booked in Chamonix for the night. And we just learned that the Tour de France is actually doing a time trial segment tomorrow right out of Chamonix. So we're gonna go see that, as well as the next day in town over. And then we learned that the end is actually in Paris on the 23rd, which is the day that we could be in Paris. So we might try to do that. So we got a lot of stuff to go for, but before that, we gotta walk through the finishing gates. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
Here. Good job.
That's a lot.
You getting emotional?
Yeah.
Good job, babe. Thank you. Well, what do you think? Double or nothing?
That was the funnest, rewarding challenge I think I've ever done.
That was hard.
Yeah.
You pushed.
It was good.
A lot of miles on those boots.
Brand new before this.
The furthest you've ever done before this was what, like 20 miles?
Yeah.
Wow. You got your first half sweat lines. It's like chill.